right. All right. I think that we are ready to start. Yeah, let me just, as always, check everything before we start the discussion of the markets, before we check the charts and discuss some signals and setups for today. Yes, I just make sure that the invitation was sent to the Telegram channel, Twitter, and Facebook group. Yeah, now we are ready to start. Hello, everyone, traders, and yeah, last thing that I forgot to check is the live chat. For some unknown reason, for 2 last weeks, I got some issues with the live chat, and occasionally it didn't work. And I'm not sure still if it is working now. So please say something in the live chat so I could know that everything is working nicely, that you see me, hear me, and if you're ready for the live stream. At least I see the likes and the hearts from the viewers, and that's already shows that something, at least something, is working. So yeah, I guess we are ready. So the plan for today is to check a lot of charts, discuss a lot of setups, and try to understand what is going on now with the markets. Try to understand how the markets are moving now and how to benefit from these movements. I guess you all would agree with me that it's all about the Middle East and about the war conflict there. And this weekend and last week and even in the morning, I receive a lot of questions from the subscribers asking to provide some plan, to provide some ideas regarding the regarding forex market, gold, and current and ongoing conflict and ceasefire talks and all that. So I will try to provide some insights with you and my view on the situation and how to treat it wisely. So, traders, if you're here the first time, remember that a very important element of our live streams is, of course, our live chat. During the live stream, I will constantly read the messages. In the live chat, I have a separate screen for a live chat where I will check, read your comments, read your feedback, and always feel free to ask me questions there. Feel free to join the discussion. Feel free to ask questions. We will analyze a lot of different charts, and if something is not clear, man, also please always be free to ask me questions. I will be happy to clarify. Yes, and hello Patrick, hello Draco, Salipi, Lakshmi, Clinton, Zach. Nice to see you guys. Laro here. Thank you for watching and listening. And this morning, analyzing different charts, I guess you saw how crazy crude oil was moving this first with the escalation and the airstrikes. Oil went up by how many? It was almost 20%, and the price went up quickly, and in a similar pace it dropped very quickly yesterday after the airstrikes in Qatar. And at that moment when the strikes were ongoing, I was reading the news, I was reading the analytics of different traders, and yesterday many of the analysts, traders predicted oil to be around 100 levels. But instead, you can see that sometimes the emotional outlook is way too far from the objective, and though many people see that oil acts in such a way now because of certain manipulations, I don't trust it, to be honest. I think that it looks like initially oil overreacted to the airstrikes. I guess initially the market was expecting the much broader conflict, and for that reason we got such a huge pump, and the market started to relieve, seeing that the impact of the conflict was overestimated. So I know that it is appealing to think that all the markets are crooked and that smart money, big money, the hedge funds were tweaking the markets, and the real reaction should have been very different. But in fact, remember that quite often during such situations, truly the markets initially overreact to certain news, and because of that, then we see the opposite moves in a similar manner. Yeah. So though, as I said, though many traders now claim that huge manipulation is going on with gold, with oil, with crypto, with many other markets, I want you to be more realistic and just try to understand the real nature of the market and why exactly the market was acting in such manner. Yes, I hope that you agree with me. Hello, Krish. Thank you for joining the live stream. Nice to see you. So I was thinking what to start our today's session with, and if you are here the first time, what we do here, I teach you how to use my trading strategy, how I trade with that, how I look for trading setups, for signals, for entries, for trading opportunities using my trading strategy. And the strategy that I apply is purely technical analysis based. It combines price action analysis, it combines supports and resistances, it combines the simultaneous analysis of multiple time frames, and I will show you multiple examples of the application of my trading strategy on different charts. Yes, so, and of course, as I said, also we will check the charts that you want me to check. That's how we're going to do that. So to warm up, I wanted to discuss a long trade, a buy signal that I spotted on CADCHF pair this morning. The signal was already sent to my VIP signals group. The signal was already sent on TradingView, my free Telegram channel. And I wanted to start with that, and I wanted to explain to you what exactly I spotted here, why exactly I decided to open the long trade, and what was my exact reasoning. So let's start with that, and then let's see how this stream is going to continue. So my trading strategy is called top-down analysis trading strategy, and the main feature of that strategy is the application of multiple time frames. Yes, this technique gives a very unique perspective on the market, allowing us to assess multiple perspectives: long-term, mid-term, short-term, and because of that, this strategy provides a very high accuracy. So the first time frame that we start our analysis with using top-down analysis trading strategy is the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, your task is to analyze the current market trend, analyze what is the current sentiment on the market, whether the market is bullish, bearish, whether the market is trading in sideways. And after you complete trend analysis, look for key levels, look for the zones from where it will be safe to trade. Yes, there are two main tasks that we do analyzing a higher time frame. We are trying to understand what is the current mood of the market participants and from where we can safely buy or sell the market. Analyzing CADCHF on a daily time frame, and by the way, traders, if during the live stream you get lost and if you don't see what instrument, what time frame I analyze. In the middle of the screen you will find a watermark with the trading instrument and the time frame that I analyze. Yes, so each time when you get lost, check the middle of the screen, you will see the instrument there. Also, here in the top left corner, I also have a ticker and the time frame that I analyze. So what we see on CADCHF here is that the market is now trading in sideways. Why? You can see that here was our market low. From that market low, we went up, and initially we got a nice minor bullish trend right here. But then the market stopped updating the highs, the market stopped updating the lows, and when the market is not updating the highs and the lows, we see that the market is trading in sideways, that the market is consolidating. And such a price action that I underlined right here is a perfect example of a consolidation. So we can say that since April, CADCHF is trading in sideways. And in the sideways market, our task is to try to spot safe points, safe areas from where we can trade the sideways market. And of course, one of the safest points for us to trade the sideways market is, of course, the support of that sideways market. Yes, you can see that here we have a significant support that the price nicely respected multiple times already. We saw significant bullish movements from that support. So definitely it is a very, 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 very nice area for us to try to catch a pullback trade. From that support, we can easily anticipate at least a pullback. And if you are a day trader, such a setup, such a support will provide a very nice zone for intraday pullback trade, right? So after we see a test of such a significant zone or level, after we see that the price is approaching such a significant zone or level, we can look for a signal to open a trade. So though the support is truly significant, though we see historical significance of this support, just the fact that the market is approaching that is not enough for opening a long position. We will need a confirmation. We will need entry signal before we open our trade. And we will look for entry signal analyzing lower time frames. So we'll look for entry signal analyzing the intraday time frames. The first intraday time frame that we are going to analyze is a 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we will try to understand what is going on with the market. And we can see that the price was falling, and you can see that the market was trading and still trading in a minor intraday bearish trend. You can see that over time the pair kept updating the lows, the lower lows and lower highs. And what also happened right here, you can see that we went below our daily structure. The market quickly dropped below that, but then quickly recovered. And why is that important? When we see a violation of a key structure that and a quick recovery, it may signify that we have not a breakout right here, but instead a trap and a liquidity grab. A very common manipulation technique that smart money use to stop out the buyers and to grab the liquidity of the buyers and of the sellers, because such a violation right here will trigger not only closing long positions of retail traders in a loss, but also opening sell positions. And you can see that after such a significant price movement, after a formation of such a strong high momentum bearish candle, bullish candles started to form. And for us, it is already the signal that there is still a buying interest here, and that at least for now, buyers are able to hold that support. Now let's examine an hourly time frame. Let's look for more clues on an hourly time frame, and let's try to find some strong confirmation. What we see on an hourly time frame is that first let's examine candlesticks. The market was falling rapidly. You can see that we dropped below our support, and then right here we formed a doji candle. Why a doji candle is so important right here? Because the market was falling. This bearish movement occurred because of the excess of the market supply. Selling volumes were much bigger than the buying volumes, and for that reason the market was falling in such a pace. But the formation of a doji candle signifies that the market found an equilibrium, that the excess of the market supply was absorbed by a demand, and for that reason this doji candle was formed here. And look what happened with the price action next. You can see that after that we formed a very classic bullish pattern. You can see that after formation of a doji, the market started to recover, and the market started to respect this minor resistance. And respecting this minor resistance, the price formed cup and handle pattern. Very bullish price action pattern. Then what happened with the market? The market violated neckline of the pattern. You can see that this minor resistance, this minor horizontal resistance was violated. You can see that hourly candle closed above that, then we retested a broken neckline, and even someone started to buy from that. We already got quite a peculiar bullish reaction to a broken neckline this night. So all these clues make me think that this bearish violation here was a manipulation. The sign of strength that we see on an hourly time frame now make me think that there's a high chance that we will see a pullback right here. Also, if you are studying candlestick patterns, you should also spot right here inside bar formation. Here was the mother's bar, and you can see that several candles were perfectly trading within the range of the mother's bar, not being able to close below or above that. And then a violation of the range of the mother's bar with a bullish candle provides another strong intraday bullish confirmation signal. So with all these bullish clues that I spotted on an hourly time frame, I made the decision to buy the pair this morning. I took a long trade, and I managed to open a long trade after a pullback right here. So I managed to buy the market from 59.1 level. That was the price level from where I bought. For that trade, I set stop loss below the lows, below the low of this liquidity grab, below the low of this cup and handle pattern. It gives us a very safe stop loss. And with such a stop loss, when the price drops to such a stop loss, it will simply signify that we are wrong in our predictions. This stop loss is based on a very solid logic that if the price updates a low right here, this update of the low will simply signify a bearish trend continuation, and that something went wrong. So stop loss is lying below the lows, and the target for the trade. The target for the trade is the closest strong intraday resistance. With that trade, we are not expecting an extended swing move. With that trade, we are not expecting a major movement up. No, we are just projecting a pullback. We have projected an intraday bullish move to the closest strong resistance. And where is our closest strong resistance? We can see that our closest strong resistance is right here. I guess you can easily recognize that. We have quite a strong structure cluster there. So our trade looks like that. Yes, you can see that our take profit for that trade is simply based on that resistance. So that trade is already active. As I said, I took that trade in the morning, 1 hour ago, and it was sent to my trading view page. It was sent on my VIP signals group, and let's see how it's going to go. Let me know, traders, if you have any questions regarding that setup. Let me know if everything is clear. Yes, and let me know what else to analyze for you. Preparing for today's live stream, I also wanted to discuss with you gap trading and gaps analysis, because with current geopolitical situation, with the current uncertainty, we see a lot of gaps this year, especially gap down openings and gap up openings. And I want to share with you some tips, some useful secrets that will help you to benefit from gaps, and I will show you how to use gaps in your analysis. I spotted a gap on a dollar index today. You can see that here with the news of ceasefire. You can see that we have a nice gap down on dollar index, and I wanted to provide some thoughts how to use these gaps for making accurate predictions. What is important for you to understand is that once you see a gap on the price chart, chances will be extremely high that the gap will be filled. For some unknown reason, the markets do not like the gaps, and quite quickly the gaps are filled. The main problem though is that though gaps are almost always filled, we cannot see when exactly it will happen. And you can see that, for example, over here we got this gap up on dollar index, and this gap was filled only after the price went up by many pips. And so when newbie traders see the gap, they immediately plan their trades and they immediately predict that the market is going to fill the gap. But instead, the market may move and may form quite an extended impulse lag before filling the gap. So there are some tips that can help you to predict from which point exactly the gap is going to be filled. After you see a formation of a gap, yes, here's our gap on dollar index, analyze the historic price action and try to identify the closest liquidity zones, closest strong supply and demand zones. You can see that after formation of that gap, dollar index continues falling, and you can see that now the index is approaching this horizontal demand zone. That is our first zone, and that is the zone from where a bullish movement to fill the gap may occur. Usually the moves that fill the gaps initiate from strong liquidity zones. So once you spotted the gap, find the zones and monitor how the price reacts to them. We got another liquidity zone over here. Yes, that is our second zone on the dollar index that the price may reach and only then fill the gap. So you can see that we are testing our first demand zone now. After the test of a demand zone, what you should look for to confirm that a gap filling movement is starting, you should look for a clear sign of strength of the buyers. We have a gap down right here. So to confirm that the gap is going to be filled, we need to see the sign of strength of the buyers. If we have a gap up, then we will need to fill the gap with the bearish movement. So then, as the confirmation signal, we will need a sign of strength of the sellers. And in that case, in the case of this gap up that we got in the dollar index, our sign of strength of the sellers was a very nice double top pattern that the price formed on an hourly time frame. Yes, that was our double top pattern, very cute bearish pattern that the price formed right here, and a violation of its neckline, a breakout of its neckline, was a very strong bearish signal that provided a strong bearish confirmation. And after formation of this candle, I was anticipating that the gap is going to be filled, and you can see that quickly the entire gap was filled and the price dropped much lower. Now we have this gap, and buyers should close this gap. Buyers should fill this gap, and for that reason, we are looking for a sign of strength of the buyers now. And from such a perspective, what can be our bullish signal? What can be our sign of strength of the buyers right here? And we can easily spot our exact bullish signal analyzing a recent price action. What we see on dollar index, we can see a minor resistance right here. Yes, minor blue resistance. It was a strong support in the past, was violated and turned into resistance. And that is a resistance where intraday selling interest accumulates. That is the area from where sellers are selling for now. That is the area from where we see a bearish pressure. So our clear sign of strength of the buyers will be a violation of that zone, will be a breakout, and the candle close above that zone. Your signal to buy dollar index will be an hourly candle close above that blue area. When we violate that, when we close above that, we can confirm that yes, buyers are finally strong and buyers are ready to fill the gap. After an hourly candle close above that blue zone, we will expect a bullish movement. And where the market is going to go? To fill the gap, the market will need to reach gap opening level. Level from where the gap opened. So that will be the goal for the buyers then. I hope it is clear, traders, and such a reasoning, such a strategy, such a plan can be used on any market, any time frame. Remember that gaps may occur on Forex peers, on gold, stocks, crypto, and everywhere you can use this logic for gap trading. And if your broker lets you place the trades on dollar index, you can even build a complete trading plan with entry, stop loss, and target for that. Your take profit will be the gap opening level, just a couple of pips below that, and stop loss below the lows. That will be your plan to trade this gap. Let me know, traders, if you have any questions. Let me know if everything is clear with that setup, and let me know if I need to clarify something in that setup. And chat is very silent today. Yeah, I see that people are not that active today for some reason. Traders, I want more energy from you. Yes, I just at least give me yes if you follow and listening, and so far two setups that we discussed are clear and you agree with me. Hope the sell-off dollar index, says Simon. Well, dollar is extremely weak for the last 2 months. So I think that at some moment it definitely should recover and go up, because the index, in my personal view, is too oversold. By the way, traders, do not forget that this week there's a huge discount on my premium group. You can get VIP signals, access to my trading academy and my courses with the big discount, 40% off on lifetime access. For more info, visit my website, vasilytrader.com, for more details. The offer expires this Sunday, so don't miss it. The next that we are going to discuss, I think we can check pound dollar. I see a question about pound dollar, so we'll check it. Billy says, Vasily, contact me. I got something you have never heard about the gap. Phil, is true, but what I got is a projection model. Billy, please send me a message on Telegram, and I will examine that. I'm studying gaps for a very long period of time, and I like gap trading. So if you have something insightful about gaps, I will be happy to read that and to check that. So now about pound dollar. Let's check pound dollar. I see a question about pound dollar. So following the ceasefire news, pound dollar is bullish now, right? And the market is nicely recovering after quite a significant drop last week. And what I like about price action on pound dollar is that though the market dropped sharply, the price perfectly respected that support. That support was respected, and from that we are going up now. So what can I say about pound dollar pair from a current perspective is that the market is going to reach that resistance. Surely, yes, it is our closest strong resistance that we see on a daily time frame. I think that it is going to be the goal for the buyers. For now, you can see that the market is growing in a very strong pace, and because it is the closest strong resistance that we can see on a daily, I think it's going to be our goal for now. And then perspective really matters, because from the long-term perspective, you can see that we are bullish. We are trading in a strong bullish trend on a daily. A recent bearish movement that we saw on a pound dollar pair is simply a correction. A correctional movement in this global bullish trend. So after we tested this demand zone, I think there's a high chance that the price will reach our blue resistance and then continue going higher. I think that there will be a high chance that we will see a violation of that blue resistance, that the market is going to update the high and continue growing. And the question is, where can be the next goal for the buyers then? And to find that easily, what you do, you should analyze the historic price action. You can see that we were trading around these levels in 2022, and we can easily find our next strong resistance. Our next strong historic resistance is going to be that structure. Our next historic resistance is going to be that horizontal resistance. And after we violate our current high, after we break and close above our current resistance based on the current high, we are going to go higher and reach that historic resistance. That is so far the plan. I think that the best strategy to stick to on a pound dollar pair is trend following. I think that it's better to stick to the trend on a pound dollar pair, and this plan can give you a nice potential buying opportunity. Of course, once we see a test of that low resistance, once we see its violation, I will certainly provide an update on my free Telegram channel, so make sure that you subscribe. And I also got a question about dollar CAD here. let's check it and discuss. So what is happening on a dollar CAD pair is that we have a strong bearish trend, but in comparison to pound dollar pair, where the trend is obvious, where we got the correction in a trend, on the dollar CAD pair situation is a bit different, because what I see on a dollar CAD pair, you can see that on a daily time frame, we formed this huge falling wedge. And why this wedge pattern is important right here? Because in this wedge pattern, we have a contraction of a price action. You can see that this wedge shows us how bearish trend got exhausted, and our last bearish wave within this flag was, I guess you would agree with me that it was quite short, it was quite weak, and it looks like, at least for now, it was the last one in this bearish trend that the market follows since February of this year. And if we zoom in the chart, we can actually spot another peculiar clue. In this minor bearish trend, we got this horizontal resistance. And it was violated as well. So what happened on the dollar CAD pair, we actually got two important breakouts. We got a violation of an important falling trend line, falling resistance, vertical resistance, and we also violated this horizontal resistance as well. So we have two important sign of strength of the buyers on a daily time frame. We have two important bullish breakouts, and it makes me think that dollar CAD pair may easily go higher. It makes me think that the pair may start an extended correctional movement. The pair may grow more, and if we analyze the historic price action, if we look for the closest strong resistance, we can spot that our closest significant structure is right here, that zone. And I do believe, traders, that there's quite a high chance that dollar CAD pair will start recovering and the price may reach that blue structure. I think that there's a very high chance to see a movement like that. One more thing to add is that our broken horizontal resistance and our trend line, broken trend line, will compose an expanding demand zone. That will be the area where buying orders will concentrate, and I would call that zone expanding demand zone. And I would think that it can be the zone from where this bullish movement to that resistance is going to follow. Yes, that is my outlook for dollar CAD pair. Lakshmi says there are so many Vasily trader channels. Which one is real? The real one is the one that is based on the link from my other official channels. For example, you can find a link to my real Telegram channel on my website, or in the description of this live stream, you can find the links to my Facebook group, to my TradingView page, to my Telegram channel. Unfortunately, scammers are creating this false channels with the same name. So what they do, they call the channel Vasily Trader and they take username Vasily Trader 11. And when people search for my channel, they type Vasily Trader, and in search results, they get not only my channel, but also dozens of fake channels as well. That is the real pain, and many of the members that follow me unfortunately got scammed, not being able to join a correct, a verified my group. So make sure that if you are joining any Telegram channel, any Instagram page, that you open that using the link that you find in the official sources. Yes, do not use the search. Yes, search is very dense on scam channels, heavy on scam channels. So be very careful. You just give me yes in the live chat and we will discuss gold. I will share with you thoughts for gold. Also, by the way, I got preparing for today's session. I think I have something to share about silver. So we will, I guess we can check gold and silver as well. Yeah. Now, and a couple of words about Bitcoin. Again, the recent events in the Middle East made Bitcoin quite volatile, and first we got quite a strong sell-off right here that was followed by a strong bullish movement. And what is important to note about Bitcoin is that though we got a bearish move here, though there was some local panic, the market still managed to respect that significant demand zone that we have on a daily. You can see that support cluster was respected. The market grabbed liquidity from that demand zone, and today a strong bullish reaction followed. From such a perspective, we can see that Bitcoin is now trading in sideways, that Bitcoin is now consolidating, and that is the range where Bitcoin is stuck at the moment. I would even say that its resistance is like that. That would be more objective. So because the market is trading in sideways, we can expect that at least for now, the market is going to continue consolidating. The fact that we formed a bullish engulfing candle right here, a high momentum bullish imbalance candle after a test of that demand zone, makes me think that buyers will continue pushing, and because we are trading in sideways, we can easily anticipate a bullish movement to that resistance. Now, we can expect that the market is going to reach that resistance cluster, and then we will see either it is going to be broken to the upside and bullish trend will continue, or the resistance will be respected and we will see one more bearish movement to its support. Who knows? But locally I'm bullish, and I think that Bitcoin is going to rise more. From the 4-hour time frame perspective, we can find extra important bullish clues. First clue is, of course, a bullish violation of a resistance line of this expanding wedge pattern. Then we also have a nice cup and handle pattern that the price formed within the wedge. Look, that's a very cute bullish pattern that the price formed within the wedge. And this night, you can see that both the neckline and the trend line of these patterns were violated. We got double violation, double breakout of vertical resistance and the horizontal resistance, and then the price went even higher. And I think this bullish confirmations indicate that the market may rise more. So my outlook is very bullish right here. Now let's discuss gold. And those who follow me on my free Telegram channel know that yesterday I managed to predict a very nice pullback from that support. I managed to perfectly predict a bullish movement to that resistance, and what is happening now is very surprising for many traders. As I said at the beginning of the live stream, what is currently going on here is that gold is moving absolutely different from the expectations of many traders that were expecting gold to go to 3,500, 4,000 level following the escalations in the Middle East. And I wanted to start to this discussion of gold from the understanding of the psychology of the market and from the understanding of the nature of the market movements. So what is important to understand regarding recent price movements on gold is that was a strong bullish reaction that followed on gold after the mutual bombarding started between Israel and Iran. That is how the market perceived this events, and that is how the price grew following this news. And the reaction of the market to this news, of course, was very emotional. And when the market was rising, the market was rising on fears that this bombardings will transform in something big. And many of the news outlets were claiming that, not claiming, were saying that World War III is here, World War III is starting. So fear was extreme. And because of this fear, because of this emotions, gold started to grow like that. Then the mutual strikes continued, but it turned out that the market overestimated the impact of these attacks. Though, of course, it was terrible, though, of course, it was bad, but it was not that bad as the markets initially expected. Yes, just check Bloomberg, CNN, other popular BBC, other popular news outlets, how they portrayed the start of this conflict. And definitely, from such a perspective, it is way too far from real World War III. For that reason, when the strikes continued without future escalation, the market started to relieve, and for that exact reason, the market opening last week was not bullish. Many people expected that Monday last week should have been extremely bullish with the update of the historic high, but instead last week was bearish. Last week was very bearish, and the market was steadily falling. And today, fall continues. Yes, and there's no manipulation in that. I think that we can easily understand the exact psychology of the market right here. We can easily understand why the market gold price was and still behaving in such a way. Yeah, so do not think that all the markets are crooked. When you go through the dozens of similar situations like that, you will see that very often the initial of the markets to certain events is way too overestimated, right? So next time, do not make emotional decisions when you are trading. Try to be cold-minded, and I understand that though the media is trying to make you emotional and to try to make you make stupid decisions, be very cold-minded and think twice before you open long or short trade following some news like that. Be extremely careful. And what we see now is that today gold is updating a low on the 4-hour time frame. If we analyze a price action on gold on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have a clear minor bearish trend with the new lower close right here. And what we can look for now, of course, though we have a minor bearish trend, we should not forget that our global trend still remains bullish. And a bearish movement that we see now is just a correction within this bullish trend. Yes, we have this bullish trend that started right here. That was a low of our new bullish trend. And with time, you can see that the market keeps updating the highs. The higher highs, the market keeps updating higher lows. So trend still remains bullish, and the current bearish movement is just a correction. It is correction in a bullish trend. And in such a price action, being trend followers, we can look for the next trend following buying. And to do that, we will need to analyze a historic price action and try to find the zones, the areas from where the next strong bullish wave will most likely start. To do so, we will zoom in the chart and analyze the recent price action. Our first significant support, of course, will be based on our last higher low in this bullish trend. Let me just, by the way, underline this bullish trend for you so you could better understand what I'm talking about. That's our bullish trend, and in this bullish trend, here's our last higher low. According to the rules, according to the classic price action rules, our trend right here remains bullish till the price is trading above this last higher low, and a violation of that will signify trend change. It will signify a change of character, and it may trigger bearish continuation lower to lower structure levels. So while we are above the last higher low, we consider this movement to be a correction within this bullish impulse. I hope that this reasoning is clear. So that is our first strong support in this bullish trend, and we may assume that after a test of that support, a bullish rally is going to follow. And if we carefully analyze a recent price action, we can actually spot one more for our support. These are two significant intraday supports that we have. These two supports are strong demand zones, and from one of those zones, bullish trend may resume. So what you do once you spot these demand zones, you look for a signal. What kind of signal you should look for? Here we have, as I said, we have a minor bearish trend. Yes, this is our current minor bearish trend. Minor bearish trend within this bullish trend. In this minor bearish trend, we have our last lower high right here. And according to the rules, the trend remains bearish till the price is trading below the last lower high. Yes, that is our last lower high in this minor bearish trend. So to confirm a violation of this minor bearish trend and a resumption of a bullish trend, we will need a violation of that last lower high. The price action that we will look for is like that. We will look for a violation of that. We will look for a violation of this minor bearish trend. Yes, that is our model. Here is our minor bearish trend, right? And this is our mean bullish trend. Yes, try to perceive a price action, a current price action on gold like that. Yes, we have our mean bullish trend. In this mean bullish trend, we started a correction. We started to trade in the minor bearish trend, and to confirm the resumption of our mean bullish trend, we are looking for a violation of our minor bearish trend. That will signify, yes, a resumption. That will confirm a start of a new bullish wave. So that is kind of a price action that we will look for. And such a price action may follow from that support, or from that support, we don't know. That is why we should carefully watch how the price reacts to these zones. One more thing to add is that these two supports can also be used for pullback trading. And once the price is testing one of the zones, another strategy that you can follow is to look for pullback trades from these supports. To confirm a pullback after a test of each of the zones, start analyzing lower time frames, hourly time frame, or even lower, like 30 minutes time frame, and look for a signal. Look for a price action signal. For example, from such a perspective, what you can look for a test of that yellow support and a double bottom on that. Double bottom pattern and the violation of its neckline will provide a strong bullish continuation signal for you. That will be a signal for a pullback trade on gold. So that is the alternative strategy to follow on gold from such a perspective. Let me think if I can add something extra regarding my gold analysis traders. By the way, let me know if everything is clear so far. I was trying to create the exact trend model on gold so that you could understand what exactly is going on here and how exactly to read the current price action on gold from a perspective of the last 2 months. So I hope that my reasoning and my analysis is clear. On each and every live stream, when we analyze gold, I'm trying to always show you different perspectives. Sometimes we discuss gold only from a day trading perspective. Sometimes we discuss it from the swing trading perspective. This time I decided to focus more on structure mapping, on the understanding of the interconnections and relations of minor and mean trends. So I hope that it is clear. Yeah. So one more thing, I guess, let's quickly check that on a daily, and let's see if we have something else to add from such a perspective. Yeah, and just, yeah, if we have more extended correctional movement on gold, here will be some important supports for you to watch. We have 3 very important demand clusters on gold, and I do believe that these zones accumulate huge volumes of buying orders. I do believe that buying interest will accumulate within the zones. So those who are looking for buying, even if the price goes through this demand zone, remember that just a bit lower right here, we will have another strong demand zone. So that can be another potential zone from where gold is going to rise. So I guess being on a selling side now is as always in such a strong trend, is extremely risky, and instead of selling, I suggest identifying safe zones for buying, waiting for the test of one of the zones, and then simply waiting for confirmation signal. As always, traders, once I see a valid confirmation, I will provide the update on my free Telegram channel, so make sure to subscribe. Also, do not forget that this week I have a big sale on my premium group, because on silver, though price action is similar, it is a bit different. And what I see on silver is that we are now trading in sideways. We have this strong support, this strong resistance. And in comparison to gold, by the way, I guess you saw that silver was much stronger. And the recent movements on silver were very strong. And what we see is that after the market updated the high, after the market set a new higher close on a daily, we started to trade within this range. And what happened on Friday, the price dropped to the support of that range. Because the market is trading in sideways, as always, I always repeat and say to my students that once you see the market that is trading in sideways, both the support and the resistance of the range provide very safe points for trading, because once we see the sideways market, we can anticipate that sideways movement is going to continue, and we can look for buying from support and selling from the resistance. So that can be a very perfect plan for trading a consolidation on any market. And we see a consolidation on silver now. We see a test of the support of that consolidation, and we can expect that silver will go up to the resistance of that range from its support. Yes, that is kind of a basic logic that we use. But before we open our trade, again, I suggest waiting for a confirmation signal. I suggest looking for a valid entry signal first, and to spot a strong signal, we will analyze lower time frames. Let's check what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we got a strong bearish move. We got a strong bearish wave, and that wave was completed when we tested our support. And now what we can see, let's do the trend analysis here. That's how silver was moving. Yes, that is our current price action. In this price action, we have, yes, that is our minor bearish trend. This minor bearish trend, that is our last lower high. So the trend from the price action rules perspective remains bearish till the price is below this last lower high. So what we need to confirm is start of a bullish wave to our daily resistance. We simply need a violation of that. Yes, once we violate that, we can anticipate a bullish movement to that resistance. That is the plan. And buying the market, then you can aim, yes, at that resistance, setting your stop loss below the closest 4-hour support. So once you are planning to execute this trade, once you see the violation of the resistance based on the last lower high, find the closest 4-hour support and set your stop loss below that. That will be your very perfect long trade on silver, the consolidation trade on silver. It will also be a trend following trade on silver, because do not forget that our long-term trend is also bullish. So buying from that support, you will trade the sideways movement in a bullish trend. Yes, that's the logic. Let me know, traders, if you have any questions. Let me know if everything is clear in my gold and silver analysis, and let me know what else to analyze for for you. Reese says oil rising due to the war created fear that inflation would rise, which would slow the Fed cutting rates. Hence, why gold had not go up as people anticipated. Gold tends to rise when interest rates fall. Yeah, that's kind of a part of the reasoning. Yes, and yeah, Reese, I guess you would agree with me that oil was rising again. Not only because of such reasoning, but also because of the fear. And when oil was growing like crazy, this growth was driven by the fear that, that the war will involve the entire Middle East, and that all the Gulf countries will be involved in that. That would inevitably affect oil production, yes, and turned out that the markets overreacted, and I'm happy that they are overreacted. I'm happy that there are a lot of news about ceasefire now. I don't know, traders, though. Do you believe that this ceasefire news are true? I don't know if the countries will be able to sustain this ceasefire. So let's see how long it is going to last. I hope that it will last as long as it can. But it was the ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine that lasted a day, yeah, and then fight continued. So who knows? Analysis oil on big time frame. Yeah, we can check oil. By the way, it's very important to check oil now because the price has just tested this significant daily support. We have a very important daily support right here that the price tested. Our closest strong resistance is right here. Yes, and after a test of that support, let's see what happened. I guess, by the way, we can build a nice plan right here. Yeah, you can see that what is going on at the moment with oil after a test of our support, the price started to form a double bottom. We have a nice bullish pattern that oil formed, and the signal to buy, our signal to buy, will be bullish violation of a neckline of the pattern. Once an hourly candle closes above the neckline, we can anticipate a bullish movement to that resistance. Yes, you can see that we are already testing neckline. We are approaching the neckline. And it looks like, traders, it's going to be broken. Look at this strong bullish candle. It is a bullish engulfing candle that completely engulfed the range and the body of a previous bearish candle. This candle clearly shows us the strengths. So I think there's a high chance to see a violation of neckline and then the consequent bullish movement to 69.3 level. So I am on a bullish side now. And by the way, our demand zone on oil is a bit wider. Yes, I think our demand zone on oil is like that. We have a very impressive demand zone right here. Yeah, and I guess it should match with the trend line. Yeah, it also matches with this rising trend line. Yeah, traders, we have a very strong demand zone right here that is based on the intersection between the rising trend line and a horizontal structure. We also call that zones a dynamic zones. It is a dynamic demand zone. And on my YouTube channel, I have recently recorded a video explaining what are the dynamic supports and resistances, and that is a great example of such a zone right here. So get ready for bullish movement. Yes, and wait for confirmation. Neckline broke out of this double bottom pattern on an hourly time frame will provide a strong bullish confirmation. Then Rohit says whether Ethereum get short. Well, from the fundamental perspective, at least now, I don't think so, because, as I said, recent bearish move on crypto that we saw looks like it was based on the overestimation of the impact of the conflict. And what happened with Ethereum, the market was consolidating. Yes, that was the range where the price was stuck. And with the recent events, support of the range was violated. Yes, it was a confirmed structure breakout. Of course, from the technical standpoint, it was a very important violation. And the broken structure now turns into a strong resistance. But at the same time, what also happened, the price reached this significant support. Yes, we got a significant support cluster right here that the price reached. And definitely, I guess a lot of buying orders were concentrated on that support cluster. So, and a formation of this bullish imbalance right here, a formation of this high momentum bullish candle may indicate, Rahid, that this violation was false. Yes, that violation could easily be a liquidity grab, a trap right here. So, though the test of that structure for now looks bearish, I think that this violation could easily be false. So let's see how it's going to go. I see a bearish pattern, by the way. Right here, I see this double top. But, Rohit, remember that all the recent movements, all of the recent waves that we saw are based on the war conflict in the Middle East. So the market may easily completely forget these moves simply because, the market may easily overestimate its impact. So for now, I don't see that it is a good idea to buy. Let's see how the market is reacting to that broken structure. And I think if the price will manage to return above that zone, if we close above that zone on a daily, it will signify that the violation was false. What is the next one? Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar up here. By the way, I was monitoring New Zealand dollar up here for selling this morning, but looks like it was, my short. By the way, I think, traders, that it can be a nice opportunity for a pullback trade, both on New Zealand dollar and Aussie dollar. And I think while Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar up here are closely correlated, let's concentrate on New Zealand dollar up here. From the technical analysis perspective, it looks a bit better for potential pullback trade from the resistance. So traders, on New Zealand dollar up here on a daily time frame, I see a test of this significant resistance. I guess you see that we have some important structure right here that the price is currently approaching. And I do believe that that resistance may provide potential zone for pullback trade. And if we analyze how the price reacts to that zone on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that what is important about that zone is that from the trend analysis perspective, this is our minor bearish trend on the 4-hour time frame, and that resistance is based on the last lower high and this bearish trend. So it is a very important point. It is a very important decision zone for New Zealand dollar up here. And of course, its violation, daily candle close above that, will signify resumption of a bullish trend. But for now, that zone may hold, and we may even try to catch a pullback from that. On an hourly time frame, you can see that the price already leaves some bearish clues. You can see that we see a formation of quite a strong bearish candle, And what we can look for to sell, we can see that we have minor structure right here. Yes, we have a minor structure that the price just got a low bit rate, by the way. Yeah, just let me. Traders, how is the connection now? Because I just got the alert from YouTube that that the connection dropped a bit. So let me know. Let me know if the connection is still stable and it resumed. Yeah. Let me know if someone is still here and listening. Let me know how it's going now. Yeah, let me just also check it. Check it from my phone. How it's going from such a perspective. Yeah, I hate those moments when you discuss something, when you are trying to when you are trying to see something reasonable, still stable. Yeah, thank you. Please, guys, please just inform me if there are any lags. If so, I will just restart it ASAP. Yeah. And thank you, Salipia. Thank you. I appreciate. Yeah, well, good. Joseph, thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry for disturbing the live stream because of that. Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, so what we see on New Zealand dollar here is that we already see some sign of strength of the sellers. Yes, you can see that. For some unknown reason this bearish candle was formed. This bearish candle looks quite strong, and this minor bearish movements started to respect this minor structure. And you can see that we kind of started a local sideways movement on that already. Yes, you should kind of feel it. And our signal for a pullback trade on New Zealand dollar is the violation of that blue structure. Yes, if an hourly candle drops below that, if we see a violation of that blue structure and an hourly candle closes below that, we can go short. We can go short and we can aim. Returning to a 4-hour time frame, we can aim at that structure. Yes, that is our closest strong structure that I see on a 4-hour time frame, and that can be our potential goal for the trade. So if an hourly candle closes below that blue structure, we will sell. On the retest of that, we will set our stop loss above the highs of the pattern, and our take profit, yes, will be that support. It can be a very nice pullback trade on New Zealand dollar. Yes, you can see, by the way, I got the alert right here. Let me move my alert a bit. That is traders my alert level, and I use such alerts for tracking the breakouts. So what will happen with my alert once my alert level is reached? I will get a notification on my phone that New Zealand dollar pair is testing that level. For me, it will be a signal that it is a breakout attempt of that minor support, and I use such alerts to not miss the important intraday confirmations. Yes, I hope you understand that. So let me just hide it. So that is the plan for New Zealand dollar pair. Alternatively, remember that if on a daily time frame this yellow resistance is broken, if on a daily time frame we break and close above that yellow resistance, on a daily it will invalidate that trading setup and we can anticipate more growth then. Yes, that is the alternative scenario. Then I see a question from Noah about US 30 index. I guess traders, you saw that all the indexes started to recover nicely, and so far US 30, US 100, US 500, they all are recovering. And what is happening with US 30 now? First of all, we have sideways movement. Yes, that is our current consolidation. Yes, that is our current range where the index is stuck. you can see that we are now testing the resistance of the range. Yes, the price is now approaching the resistance of the range. And because the trend is bullish since April, I think that there's a nice chance, a high chance to see a violation of that resistance. To confirm a trend following scenario, wait for a daily candle close above that resistance. Then our broken structure will turn into strong support. Yes, and then we can expect bullish movement to that resistance. That will be our next strong historic resistance. So that is going to be our plan to buy. Wait for violation of this daily resistance, wait for its retest, then on an hourly time frame, wait for good entry and anticipate more growth. Let's quickly check how the price is reacting to our resistance for now. Yeah, for now we see some bearish reaction, but I think, yeah, what US30 may look for, what US30 index may wait for today is the Powell testimony today, yes? And I guess we have more news. Let me open investing.com website and check the economic calendar. Yes, we also have the US consumer confidence data today, same time. So we have two important fundamental events in 5 hours, 20 minutes. And for US 30, I think it can be a very important catalyst. So before this news, I strictly recommend not taking any trade on US 30. And I suggest waiting for the news first, and after the news release, watch how the market reacts to the news. And if the market follows our bullish scenario, then you can have a very great plan to buy US 30. Yes, I hope it is clear. Ikram says, I learn a lot from your videos. I learned price action. I learned pullback, broke out. Yeah, that's great, man. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I'm happy that you are learning. Yeah. Then pound cat, question from Salipi about pound cat. Let me analyze that for you. Wow, nice growth here, by the way. And yeah, so pound cat is going to test the significant resistance. And we have one more right here. So what we see on pound cat is that we have a very, 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 very important resistance cluster that the market is going to approach. And what else we see is that typically a long-term trend on, let me just clean the chart a bit, you can see that long-term trend on pound cat pair is strongly bullish. And following a current strong bullish movement that we see on a pound cat, we may easily see a breakout of that resistance cluster. Yes, we may easily see a violation of these two resistances and a bullish continuation higher. So such a scenario is highly probable. And if so, if we violate both structures, then we will expect bullish continuation to the new highs. And yeah, and what is going to be our next important resistance then? On a weekly time frame, analyzing historic price action in 2016, we can see this significant resistance cluster. Yes, that can be the next goal for the buyers then, after a violation of our current significant supply zone right here. So that can be your trend following plan for pound cat pair. So I will be waiting for the test of that zone. Probably it may provide some pullback trading opportunity. So I will monitor the reaction of the price within the supply cluster for a potential pullback, remembering that the long-term trend is bullish and there's a chance to see a violation. and a continuation to higher structures. Yeah. So these are my thoughts about EURCAD. I'm not sure. Yeah, but they look very similar. It's kind of the same kind of decision moment for EURCAD. Similarly to pound CAD pair, long-term trend is bullish. We are going to test our resistance based on the year's high. We are already testing that by the way. And the strength of this long-term bullish trend indicates that there is a chance that the market will likely set a new higher close. Violation of that resistance, daily candle close above that will provide a strong bullish confirmation. And then let's try to find our next resistance. By the way, with EURCAD, it is a bit different in comparison to pound CAD. On EURCAD, we have our next resistance cluster right here, very close to current. So it's interesting. So what may happen on EURCAD? We may update the high, test this historic resistance, and then drop again. So it can be like that. So pound CAD and EURCAD from a historic structures perspective look a bit different. So I also think that EURCAD is going to update the high right here, but then probably bearish move will start quite soon. So never forget, traders, to check historic structures, historic levels, because these historic structures may provide the insights like that. Yes, I hope it is clear. Yeah, AUDCAD, let's analyze AUDCAD, and yeah, let me just open a naked price chart. AUDCAD is now testing a strong resistance right here. I guess you saw that. We have such a strong resistance area right here, and we are testing its lower boundary now, and yeah, so we may see some pullback, but we also have the intraday 4-hour support right here. So traders, for those who are looking for a pullback trade from that blue resistance, remember that to confirm that we will need a violation of that 4-hour support. We have a strong 4-hour support cluster. And to confirm a pullback, I suggest letting the price break this 4-hour support. We will need a 4-hour candle close above that. 4-hour candle close below that to confirm a pullback, and then we can anticipate a bearish movement to that structure. Yeah. So from an hourly time frame perspective, you can look for a price action like that. We have left shoulder, it can be the head. We may have, for example, a head and shoulders pattern right here. And based on that head and shoulders pattern, you can build a plan to sell. Yeah, let me just change the colors so you could better understand. Yeah, so we'll need broke out of that for our candle close below, then selling on a retest, stop loss above the highs, take profit right here. Yeah, so something like that. That can be your potential pullback trade for AUDCAD. Yeah, Rohit, I hope you got a similar reasoning as I do. With DAX index, oh wow, what a gap! What was the reason of this gap? Was the news? It was the German news, right? Or what? Was German news or just the opening? Yeah, it was just the opening. Wow. Yeah, what a gap here. And yeah, so it looks like DAX is back to the trend. Do you see the flag here? I guess I see a bullish flag. Let me just draw it correctly. Yeah, I think, yeah, like that, like that. And the support of the flag, probably from where to draw it. Let's draw from that. Yeah, so it looks like a flag. It looks like a bullish flag. The price violated resistance of the flag. After a violation of resistance of the flag, we got this double bottom. Yeah, got this double bottom. Its neckline was violated with the gap. Remember what we discussed about the gaps. It looks like we may fill the gap soon. Yeah, so we may have a price action like that then, and then a bullish continuation higher. Yeah, so we may see something like that on DAX. So that can be a nice zone for you to buy. Yes, I think that at least half of that gap is going to be filled, and that can be a potential price action on a DAX index that may follow. Then New Zealand Swiss traders, let me know if everything is clear and you follow and listening, and yeah, and you understand what what I'm doing. With New Zealand Swiss Rocket, remember on the yesterday's live stream, by the way, Traders Rocket is the member of my trading academy, and on the yesterday's live stream with my academy members, we discussed New Zealand Swiss Rocket. You can see that our support cluster was respected, yes, and our range where New Zealand Swiss pair is stuck since the middle of April. Yeah, the range's support is still respected. Yes, though we got a breakout attempt of that, you can see that the price did not manage to violate that. We got a significant rejection here. Got a significant rejection, and yeah, so for now, from such a perspective, I guess you would agree with me that with the high probability bullish movement is going to continue. I think it is very reasonable to be bullish now. We were rejected from the support. We see a very bullish London session today, so probably we are going to rise more, and we can easily reach that resistance soon. So my outlook for New Zealand Swiss is strongly bullish. Yeah, so that's my outlook. Yeah, so we discussed a lot of charts today, discussed a lot of different setups. Yes, discussed gap trading, discussed pullback trading. I share a signal at the beginning of the live stream. Let's hope that it's going to reach the target. And yeah, so we got a great discussion, traders. Let me know what are your thoughts. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Yes, I guess I answered all the questions that we got in a live chat. And so, traders, for more free education, you can visit my website, vasilytrader.com. I have a free education section there. You will find hundreds of free educational articles on different subjects. Smart money concepts trading, gold trading, trading basics, risk management, trading psychology. A lot of articles for you there. Also on my YouTube channel, I keep playlists on different topics. For example, if you want to learn just support and resistance, on my YouTube channel, I have a separate playlist just for support resistance analysis. I have a separate playlist for SMC trading, for gold trading. So please check the playlist and learn more. Do not forget to subscribe to my social networks. I have Instagram, Telegram, Trading View page, Twitter. Yeah, and do not forget about big sale. Yes, as I said, until Sunday, I have big sale on my premium group, 40% off on my VIP signals, Trading Academy, and courses. You will find the link in the description. Thank you for joining. The recording of the live stream will be provided in a couple of minutes. I will also provide time codes so that you could that you can watch it, watching only the analysis for the instruments that you are interested in. And later on today, I will share some analysis and probably some signals on my free Telegram channel for you. So that's kind of it. Thank you, traders. Thank you for your time, attention, and thank you